So happy Wednesday. I hope wherever you are that you and your loved ones are safe and well, that you're having a good week and a good day. It's been a week. I need everybody to forgive me for complaining or venting or seemingly whining about what I'm about to tell you, but I'm allowed to vent and I'm allowed to be annoyed and struggle with my own medical nonsense sometimes. And so I'm asking for forgiveness ahead of time. Last week on Wednesday, I saw my hematologist and he ordered a whole bunch of blood. The advantage to being a part of such a big medical system is that we get MyChart, which is an app that has you're linked, whatever hospitals, if they're all in MyChart, if they're all linked into that system, everybody's on the same page. They can see your chart. You can send messages to your doctor. Your appointments are there. Your meds are there. And your lab results are there. And so you may see your doctor and then start getting pinged that all these results are coming back one after another. So, like I think I told you guys last week, the results were coming back fine. And then D-dimer came. And it was a slightly elevated D-dimer, but all I saw was abnormal and elevated. Now, lest we have forgotten, D-dimer is the protein that forms in your body when it's breaking down clots. I don't think I need to tell you that that threw me into panic like I have not had in a year and a half. I really, internally, was freaking the hell out. And so I left, as soon as I got the result on Thursday, I called the office and I said, I'm a little concerned. I left a message, it was after hours, and I said, it is not an emergency, which maybe was stupid to do that, but I didn't want them calling me back over blood results. And I also didn't want some overnight resident doing it. I wanted to talk to my doctor. And so I said, it's not an emergency. I'll talk to them tomorrow, but I do want to call back about that result because do I have to go back on blood thinners? Do I need to do something with that? Friday rolls around. And granted, I called the office back and I said, is it possible to speak with somebody about this blood test result? I said, because I don't want the weekend to start. I don't want to wait another few days and not know if I have to go back on blood thinners or something to stem whatever clotting is obviously happening in my body. Like, I don't know what I have to do with that. So the nurse practitioner who I had met on Wednesday called me back, not my doctor, which irked me a little bit. And he said, it's elevated, but not enough for them to panic. He wants to watch it. We're going to repeat it in a month. And so he made me feel better, but I'm still concerned because it has not been elevated at all since my stroke in the tests that he's done on me since I've met him. It's been completely within the range of normal, not a bit of elevation. And so obviously the blood thinners I was on, the aspirin I was on, the Lipitor I was on, was doing its job. And so the fact that there's clots of any kind forming in my body that requires breaking down scares me beyond belief. That's vent number one. Then he says, actually, we're more concerned with your iron. I was like, what? My iron? I said, my iron didn't come back abnormal. And granted, it's at the very low, like ready to just put 1 foot over the low range of normal, according to them. It's a fabulous 8.9 at the moment. And he said it should be at least 50, at least. So I said, well, what does that mean? And he said, well, now we have to put you on iron. So I was like, are you kidding me? And so he only checked the stupid iron because, being a jerk that my body is, I've had 2 cycles this month. So I was like, I don't know, that seems abnormal. But he said, well, I'll check your iron. I'm like, okay, whatever. Not thinking in any way that this was gonna do what it did, which is scare them, because he said, we don't want you to end up anemic. And have you ever been anemic before? I was like, no. We don't want to end up, we want to make sure you can tolerate oral iron because then we might have to do iron infusions. And I'm like, whoa. This is all on the phone with the nurse practitioner, not my doctor. And so I said, iron infusions. And he said, yeah, by IV. He said, so let's try oral for, and I was like, whoa, slow down, dude, slow down. I said, I haven't even started them yet. Let's not start talking about iron infusions because hold on. He gave me no instruction about taking iron, but I remembered from family members that there's a rhyme or reason to it. So I talked to them about it. Then I said, you know what I'm going to do? Because I have so many other meds throughout the day, I need to speak to my pharmacist because they know all my meds. They know, he remembered I'm a vegetarian for the most part. He said, you don't eat any red meat, right? So I went in to talk to him. I was like, Rob, you got to help me out here. He told me how to do it. Empty stomach, but with something acidic, orange juice. And then I thought, I really wish, now here comes vent number 2. When you're a patient in the hospital, and I've been on both sides of this, some magical system sets up your medication for you. So whether it's Q8, QD, Q12, Q6, Q4, it's automatically set up for someone else to deal with the setup, and then for someone else to just present you with your medications throughout the day, throughout the night, so that you get all your meds and you don't have to think about it, except to say, oh, I think I'm due for such and such, if you're on top of it and maniacal like I am. Nobody does that for me. Nobody does that if you live with a chronic illness. You are the setup. You are the deliverer. You are the person, the CEO of maintaining that insane schedule of meds. And I just wished, and I said to my husband last week, I just wish somebody else could figure it all out for me. Because I take wait, 1, 3, 6 pills in the morning, 3 as soon as I get up, 3 right after I've eaten breakfast. So that's all within half an hour of each other. I take 2 at lunchtime. I take 3 at dinner, or 4 at dinner, and then 3 before I go to bed. And for the most part, it's like after I've eaten, right before I've eaten and everything. But iron, you have to take on an empty stomach with something acidic, which is empty stomach is fine because I only eat breakfast and then I have dinner. I really don't eat. I might have something like as I'm making dinner or an orange in the afternoon, which I'm still obsessively eating. But so that empty stomach isn't the problem. But it just aggravated me because it's a stupid rant because there are people with way more meds and way more issues. But like the B2 is with food. My Lipitor is at bedtime. The other meds are after dinner. It's just like I didn't want anything else. And no, it's not a prescription. And no, it's not the end of the world. It's like I also didn't want another problem. I don't want to imagine that I'm going to slide into anemia and suddenly need IV infusions of iron. I didn't need that image in my head. I have enough stuff to worry about, and it got me down, and it's so dumb because it's not a threat level midnight situation. It's just another thing I have to manage and also manage to avoid. So it's like I don't want any problems. And I asked them to rerun the D-dimer because that scares me, whether it's elevated to their panic level or not. It's certainly elevated to panic in mine. What am I doing wrong? Am I sitting too much? Am I not moving? I'm walking every day. It just scares me. It just scares me because I don't want any problem. I don't want any trouble. I really don't. I try to do my best to do what I'm told and to do what they've asked me, but I don't want any trouble. That's what I feel like. I don't want any problems. And it's so dumb to be upset over. It's not dumb. It's not dumb. I'm taking that back. It's right to be upset. I can be upset about whatever I want to be upset about. It's seemingly nothing to other people, but it's not nothing to me. And anyway, so they're rerunning the D-dimer this week. I'm going on Friday because I called the office today. I had forgotten last week in all the hubbub of that appointment, and I wanted them to recheck my thyroids. And so I called the office today and I said, is it possible for them, because I'm going to the lab, I'm not going to their office, same building, but I'm going to a different place that I haven't been to before. And I said, is it possible to add a thyroid prescription for me? Because I haven't done those in a minute and I would like them checked. And so I thought, I must be mumbling because I thought I was clear about what I wanted. I said, it's not an emergency. I said, I just was wondering if the nurse practitioner could add those because he wrote the order. Well, he calls me back, and I was out in the street taking my walk this afternoon. And he's like, what can I help you with? So I said, I've meant to ask the doctor last week if he could check my thyroid. And so he went, oh, your thyroids. And I was like, yes. And he said, the person that took the message wrote down fibroids. I could not get my breath. He said, because he's so serious. There's no blood test for fibroids. I was like, dude, no, I have fibroids, but I have another doctor handling that. And he was like, oh, no, thyroids, yes. So I could not. So I immediately texted my mom and my sisters. I'm like, I can't get myself together here because the way he sounded so nervous, it was funny. I felt really bad. I'm like, I would never not ask you guys to check my fibroids of all the things. Anyway, so I'm gonna have that done on Friday, and the D-dimer just to see what's what, and the iron in a month, and then I'll see him again in 6 months. And so I think that's booked for, I don't know when the hell it's booked for, sometime in 6 months. March to April, May, June, September. It's in September, which I know will be here before I know it. But anyway, managing all of this is not easy. And I know that there are people that take more pills than I do throughout the day, and less pills than I do throughout the day, and everybody feels about it differently. And I've been doing this for a long time. And so I do my 2 weeks tray setup and everything, and I've got it all timed out, and I've got it all organized. And it is on me to figure it out and make it work. And sometimes it's hard, and it just breaks you down because it's like, I talked about the pharmacy, one thing being filled, one thing needing to be filled. It is a lot to manage. And I don't want, granted, it's not another prescription, but he wanted to write me an order for iron. I'm like, I can get that over the counter. And I did. And I just don't want any trouble. I just don't want any trouble. I don't want anything else added to the mix. I want to go about things status quo and not get new things. And, oh, one last new thing. Final event of the day. Is I genuinely am losing feeling in the right side of my right foot. And I felt like my sock felt funny and by my pinky toe. And I said to my husband, I realized what it is. And I know I've talked about this before, and I forgot that I talked about it before. That sensation of not having full sensation in that part of my foot. I know I have to go back to the podiatrist because my feet are a mess. But I do need to tell my pain management doctor that also, because, and some days it's worse than others. Like some days there's less feeling. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a mess this week. I'm a mess. I don't want any trouble. That's my slogan for the week. I just don't want any trouble. I'm going to leave it there. I hope wherever you are that you have a low pain, no pain, low aggravation, no aggravation kind of a day, kind of a week, and kind of a weekend to come. That's what we hope for. That's what we deserve. And that is what I truly wish for each and every one of you. Hang in there. Whatever your hard thing is this week, or hard things are this week, please know that you're not alone. And it's okay to talk about them. It's okay to vent about them, because that's how we survive and thrive through this mess of our medical lives and our regular lives and all that. And I'm going to post joyful things separately because I need the space from it. But anyway, have a good night. I will see you on Friday via the blog next week for everything. Take care and have a good night. Bye-bye.